All right, we're back with another member interview at the Entrepreneur House. Today I'm here with Gabriel, one of our sharpest members. Gabriel, thanks for being here. Good to see you.
Man, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Gabriel, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself. You're actually someone who I've known for, I believe it's been over a year, but I've known you for some time. And like I said, one of the sharpest members in the group. And yeah, I'll let you introduce yourself here, and we'll jump right in.
Yeah, thanks, man. So yeah, Gaudí Murillo, originally from Venezuela. I've been in Louisiana for the past 15 years, and I'm an acquisition entrepreneur. I love buying and selling companies, and been in the journey for about 12 years now, in the online space, buying and scaling companies with paid ads, specifically in the e-commerce space.
Amazing. And you said you've been in it for 12 years. So tell me a little bit about 12 years ago, if you can remember your very beginning when you first started. What was that like? What did you get started? Like what started the entrepreneur journey for you?
I was a very young age, but I always wanted to do my own thing, and that's something that I learned from my family, from my parents, and my dad. We're talking about reading. He loved reading, and he gave me that gift of growing through learning from other people in books. And so for business, I started building websites for small businesses, and then from there I started building more software solutions, and then got into e-commerce, and it's been a journey of all kind of different things that led me into what we do now. But back then, I'll say, I was in college. I had a full-time job, and then I would take classes on at night, and then I'll be building websites, building a team from 9 p.m. until like 2 3 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
So working halftime or going to school and then grinding the entrepreneur.
it's a real grind.
And then so you started 12 years ago. When did you finally get to the point where you're like, okay, I can do this full time? And, you started getting like good success to support yourself.
Yeah, I think it took me about 4 years, and that's when I finally decided to like go all in. And then from there, it started like accelerating, and I think that's been kind of my biggest epiphany lately. Is like when I was doing it all on my own, it was just very complex, took a lot of effort and a lot of muscle and hustle.
Mhm.
Versus now having a team is giving me the opportunity to be my unique ability, and things are more they're simpler, and it's not just about fast or more um, easier in any way or shape or format, but it's really about the how much um, how much you can go far without having to rely everything on that pure effort. It's just more multiplying and going from um, yeah, one place to another with like support,
Mhm.
not burning out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, having a team is an absolute game changer. And so when you got into ecom and now you're more focused on like the M&A mergers and acquisitions
Yes.
type stuff. So how did you get to that, and what kind of deals or transactions or whatever have you done in M&As so
Yeah,
far?
so back in 2019 is when I sold the first company that I took 5 years. I raised some capital in that. I went through all kind of different accelerators. Went to accelerator in Chile, then in St. Louis, Missouri, then in Puerto Rico. Every single equity-free accelerator I apply, and I kind of learned the game and I hack it. Ended up raising about $250,000 just equity-free to grow that startup. And then I realized, like, I was like 24 years old, traveling the world, and again, I was doing all on my own. I had a team, but it was just more like they do their thing, I do my thing,
Mm.
and I was after the freedom, Team Ferriss style, and that was amazing. But I learned about buying and selling, and then I was at a conference. I learned that I could sell the current company. It's like, wait, somebody's gonna buy this? I thought like mergers and acquisition was like big banks and like private equity, all these big names.
Mm.
But there was somebody like in the other part of like completely out of the blue from Israel, this private investor
Oh,
that
really?
has bought like five different companies, wanting to buy the company. I went through a broker. He gave me a valuation, and to me, it was life changing because again, 24 years old, and seeing that opportunity really shifted everything for me. So it took me about like a year to from listing to then selling that first company to realize like, all right, this is possible, and what else is out there. That's when I started
Mm.
learning about what I'm doing now, and it took me about 2 years to then buy the business that I'm currently owning and operating. and that's a 7-figure deal. It took me about 150 companies to go through to then make 4 offers, and then find like this is the one. Check all the boxes, make the offer, and close the deal.
Nice. Congratulations on
Thank you.
that. When
Thank you.
when did you close that most recent deal, the business you have now?
Yeah, that's February 2022, and it was an off-market deal. So yeah, that deal alone, like it completely shifted everything for me. Like I said, now having a full-time team handling day-to-day operations. I have my right hand. He's really the kind of the director, orchestrator of everything that happens with the clients and the team. And now we're looking at buying a bigger company that can be a bolt-on for this business, but also helping and advising clients with the company that we bought that they can grow through acquisition. So that's what I do all day, every day. I also have a podcast about buying and selling companies. So it's a fascinating world. And obviously, there is a lot of support from the US government, supporting people like you and I, entrepreneurs, and people like the Entrepreneur House. There's actually somebody on Entrepreneur House that has done 20 of these deals. And yeah, I think it's a fascinating time to be in that space.
It absolutely is. So speaking about the US, we're in Medellin, Colombia right now.
That's right.
So what's your connection to Medellin? And also, how did we first get connected? Because I think we met, it was just over a year ago. I try to remember. I think it was,
The first dinner
yes.
at the art gallery
Yeah, so that was over a year. That was like last 2 years ago,
2
December.
years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
time flies.
Yeah. So yeah, what's your connection to Medellin? What are you
Yes.
doing here? And also, how did we first get connected?
Yeah, so like about 5. So my wife and I, back then it was my fiance, and before it was my girlfriend. We were traveling, like I say, have an online business, have the flexibility. So we're traveling all over the world. And then my dad was Colombian, so my family, I had some family here in Medellin. We came hang out 4 years ago. We fell in love with the city, and then we started coming like for 2 3 months. And then 2 years ago we moved down here. And I think I cannot remember either how I saw your post, but I saw your the Entre House.
I think I remember.
Okay,
So Kim Dang.
that's what it is.
So Kim Dang, another member of the group.
Yes.
I believe it was her who introduced us, and she, I don't know what she told you or how you knew her, but she just said, "Hey, we're going to this dinner. You want to come?" Type of
Yes,
thing. Was
that's
that
right. That's exactly what happened. And then I met a bunch of other people at that dinner, and then met you. And immediately, like I think after a few weeks, you share kind of the vision. It's like I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And yeah, I just really love the kind of the vibe, just to say that word, just the how down to earth people are in the group. And there's no ego. It's just people like really approachable, but doing great
Yeah.
things, doing
Yeah.
big deals, like making stuff happen. And so yeah, it was a no brainer for me.
Yeah. And so you're also in other masterminds too, like, or you've gone to a lot of different
Oh yeah,
masterminds. You've been part of, I think you were part of Russell Brunson's, like Inner Circle or whatever it's
Mhm.
called. You've been part of, I don't know, like I'm sure you could name a bunch of other masterminds. What has your experience been in the Entrepreneur House mastermind community, in perspective of, in comparison of the other masterminds you've been part of?
So one of the things that I love about this, and I think I haven't shared this with you at all, is like the fact that you personally, that you leading this group is what sets the tone, right? And the fact that you're coming from a place of values, and you are really high into values and caring about kind of the quality of the group, makes everything happen. Because there's other groups where it's more like about the group itself and scaling the group and the expertise of the people, and like it's almost more about status rather than anything. It's like, oh, if you're part of this group, you're part of the selected few ones, and it's more around like celebrity status, but not too much about the values. So one of the things that you have done really well, and the members, is curating that, where it's keeping the group exclusive, because we do want to hang out with people that are paying the price, and that have done the reps, right? There's a few of us, and we're not the top of the world, but we also are like a pretty exclusive group in our industries. And when we get to see other people doing the same things that share the same value, like we immediately connect. So I think that's what's been unique about the group. And like you say, I've been a bunch of all kind of different masterminds. So from EO, which is all over the world, they got chapters all over every single city in the U.S.
Yeah.
pretty much. And There's I'm not gonna name drop in here, but bunch of masterminds out there, and all of them again either go one extreme is like it's all about the hanging out lifestyle. Like, hey,
Yeah.
we don't talk about business here. We just come hang out and we just go climb the Mount Everest kind of thing. And you never talk about business. And the other one is like all structure and it's all business. And again, Entre House, like in between. It's like we
Mm.
go to hang out, do fun stuff, wellness. We care about, health and but we also talk business, and there's masterminds, and there's M&A stuff, there's marketing stuff. So
Yeah.
and people are very approachable, so I get to reach out to people and they're like, yep, let's hang out, let's meet, let's connect. So
Yeah. And so let's say a member's watching this or someone who joins and becomes a member, what kind of value or what can you help them out with? Because that's a big part of our community is really the mastermind itself is like, I'm not the one sitting in the front of the room and I'm not like, you said the word leader, but I'm not like this guru,
yes,
right? I'm not like
it's the
teaching
difference.
people the way how to make 7, 8, 9 figures. It's more of a collective of we're bringing really great people together and everyone's providing value to each other. So if someone wants to connect and is watching this, what could they reach out to you for and maybe get some advice, get some help, that sort of thing?
Totally. So I'd love to um, jam about a bunch of things, but specifically business wise, I said that the primary two things that I can help with is systems architect. That's my unique abilities, like thinking about how things work from really high level things all the way to like the software and the database and the infrastructure and the code base or the AI technology that is going to make things happen. And so I'm big into automation. And the other component is like what I say, I was able to sell a business and then buy a business is life changing. And if there's an entrepreneur that is serious about their business and they have 3 to 5 years of experience growing their company and they have a solid business that they love and they care about, there may be an opportunity for you or for that person to go acquire a business. So if you want to talk about what I've been through, what I learned, and also kind of the connections that I have, happy to help. And I don't share and I don't invite anybody to go buy a business, but if you are already there, like I'll be happy to help with
That's
that.
amazing.
Yes.
That's awesome. And so where can people find more about you, your podcasts, if you have any socials maybe that you want to share?
Totally. So yeah, on YouTube is Invest and Scale. Pretty simple. The podcast is investandscale.com,
Okay.
all about buying and selling businesses. And then Instagram is Gabo Murillo, Murillo.
Amazing. And then last thing, if there's anyone watching this and they've been thinking about joining maybe the Entrepreneur House or they're just doing some research to see what it's all about, what would you say to them from your own personal experience being part of it for now a full year as a founding member? What would you say to someone who's on the outside looking in, thinking about potentially being part?
Yeah, I think if you're committed to your growth and you are wanting to be a part of a great tribe, then definitely take the step to get to know Thomas or some other people like me or any other members. We're always happy to talk to prospective members. But yeah, just double down on your commitment and do your research. But if you're here in Medellin or you're in Mexico or Bogota,
Yeah,
Colombia, we're expanding global network, then yeah, they just take this step and commit to yourself. Don't think too much about what can you really take from the group, but be thinking about how can you multiply by giving and sharing, and you'll be surprised the amount of people that will want to help you and the amount of knowledge that is in the group as well.
amazing. Well, Gabriel, thank you so much. It's been
Appreciate
a
you, man.
pleasure.
Thanks.